Welcome to the Secrets of Weight Loss podcast. I'm Roberto, your host, and a once morbidly obese man. I used to weigh 23.5 stone, nearly twice as much as two average guys. I'd struggled with my weight all my life. I lost 10 stone after eventually finding something that worked for me, and I've managed to keep that weight off for over 10 years. I always get asked, how did I do it? And when I tell people, their reaction is usually, oh wow, that's amazing, I don't think I could ever do it. And it got me thinking, how do others lose weight successfully and keep it off? So here we are, the Secrets of Weight Loss podcast. Thank you for joining me. Every one of the weight loss stories you'll hear is inspirational and motivational. If they can do it, then so can you. In this first episode, I'm chatting with Beth, who is 25 years old and a hairdresser from Devon. Beth has lost an incredible amount of weight in what is, when you think about it, a very simple way. There were, however, many false starts and failed attempts. She'll tell you all about those, along with what eventually worked. If you look at your screen right now, you should be able to see a before and after of Beth. I think you'll agree, an incredible transformation. The views expressed by Beth are from her own personal experience and not those of the Secrets of Weight Loss podcast or myself. On the website, thesecretsofweightloss.com, you'll be able to find a fully transcribed version of this episode, along with links to other websites and apps mentioned by Beth, along with her own social media links. So, without further ado, let's meet Beth. The Secrets of Weight Loss podcast. So Beth, let's start with the figures. What did you weigh before you lost all your weight, at your heaviest?
Dead on 16 stone.
Okay, and what do you weigh now?
So I'm now 10 stone, like 3-4.
Oh, right, so you've done 6 stone then. Do you know what that was in dress sizes by any chance?
Yeah, so it depends on what obviously shop you dress in, but I would probably say a size 18, and if I wanted it to be baggy, a 20.
Wow. And then what are you now?
A size 8.
That's incredible.
I know. I still buy it and do the whole, and you pull it out and you think that's not going to fit me. And then you think, oh my God, it fits.
It's a great feeling when it fits though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
So how long did it take you to lose that 6 stone then?
So altogether it was 1 year, but I did plateau a few times in that year.
Well, that's really good in a year.
Yeah, it is. I think I lost a lot because I was bigger. I lost a lot very quickly. And then it kind of plateaued out and I was the same for a couple of months. But I was happy at that weight. And then the lockdown came into play and I was just at home and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get into some bad habits here. I really need to watch what I'm doing. And then I lost another 2 stone by really focusing on what I was eating during lockdown.
So how do you feel having lost all that weight?
It's a strange one. I feel amazing in myself and my mental health has definitely improved. Like I was really depressed beforehand. Yes, my body image is a lot better now and my confidence has skyrocketed because before it was that fake confidence, when you're just putting on a show and now it's like real. Like I actually do feel good.
I had that fat confidence whenever I was out and about. I was always the fat jolly guy.
Yeah, I call it fat and fabulous.
Hey, there you go, fat and fabulous. I love it.
Yeah.
What was it that was depressing you then, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't want to go into that, by all means say it's none of your business.
No, I don't mind at all. I think it was looking in the mirror and it's just horrible, isn't it? You look in the mirror and you think, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to look like this. All those foods would bring me down and I would find myself go into foods, whether it be any emotion. And then I just look at myself and think, honestly, I'd look and I think you're a pig. What are you doing? It sounds so awful saying it out loud, but that's what went through my mind. And I would just think, I don't want to be the fat one anymore. I don't want to be the fat friend or the fat girlfriend. And all my family, they're all slim as well. So I was the fat sister, I was the fat daughter. And they were like, God, your mum's so small. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, point the obvious out, why don't you?
So how did you get big to start with then?
I've always been big. I think I'd come home from school and I'd be like, oh, Mum, can I have something to eat? And she was really good. She'd say, have some fruit. I would genuinely stuff food down my pants and take it upstairs. Like I was a massive secret eater because I just wanted food all the time. I didn't really have much portion control. Yeah, I don't know. Because everyone else, like I said, my brother and sister, they were always really good, but I was just completely different.
So what was it then that made you want to lose weight? Was it the fact that you were different from your brother and sister or something else?
Oh, no. The pinnacle moment for me was I was getting married and I couldn't bear to be, I sound so naive, I couldn't bear to be like the fat bride. I just couldn't. And having all those photos, and I know that I would look at them and I wouldn't look at them. They would be stored away somewhere.
You'd be that embarrassed to look at them because of the size you were?
Yeah. Not to show people, but I would just look at them and think, oh, that's me. And I didn't do anything about it. And I was still miserable.
So when did you get married then?
September 2019.
And prior to that, had you tried to lose weight before?
Oh yeah, I've been the biggest yo-yo dieter for years. Like I lost it, gained it, lost it, gained it, like up and down for I'd say from the age of 18 until I finally lost the weight and kept it off until now when I'm 25 now.
And you say you yo-yoed. What kind of stuff did you try to lose the weight then?
Oh my God, everything. Slimming World for one, cutting out carbs, the 2-5 diet, Atkins, cling film in my stomach, everything, tablets.
Whoa. Cling filming your stomach. I've never heard that one.
Yeah, you can buy this cream. I actually bought this cream and it makes it even worse. It was on a very popular clothing website. And I bought this cream, you rub it into your belly, you put cling film around you and it supposedly makes you sweat. So you only lose the water weight, but I didn't know that back then.
That's just, of all the things I've heard, that is just incredible.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Of all the things you tried, why didn't they work? Like you said, you did Slimming World, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Why didn't Slimming World work for you?
Oh God, there's like loads of points why it didn't work for me. So personally, from my point of view, I found the environment quite toxic, as in, some weeks you would go in and if you had lost weight, it was, oh, you've done brilliant. And some days didn't lose weight and it was, what have you done wrong? And there was no real teaching about women can gain weight through water, through their periods. And you just automatically felt discouraged and you thought, well, I can't do it, I'm a failure. But there was no positive, you can do this. It was, what have you done wrong? And I didn't agree with it.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember leaving crying and I was like, right, I'm going to Aldi, I'm going to get loads of food. And it was awful.
Really emotional eating then? That's not what you want.
Yeah. And also things like, so there's a thing called Slimmer of the Week. So if you've lost 2 weeks in a row and it's been considerable amounts, you would win Slimmer of the Week. But say I've lost £1 one week, another £1 another week, you would never win it because these people who were a lot bigger than you would lose weight a lot quicker. So they would always win it and you just felt like, oh, I'm never going to get that.
And that would lead you to more emotional eating.
Exactly. And I actually gained weight on Slimming World.
No.
Yeah.
With Slimming World, is that the one where you get points for food?
So points is Weight Watchers and then Slimming World is the sins and the plus A's and the B's.
So when you're doing Slimming World with your sins and your plus A's and your B's, are you actually getting educated in what food you're eating?
Oh, no. Well, they do in a sense because the food that you have to sin, you get 15 a day and you sin foods that are basically, chocolate bars, your takeaways. And then they call speed foods, which you should have of all your meals as veg and fruit. But it's so complicated. It doesn't need to be that complicated. They need to be teaching, calorie deficit.
So you tried Slimming World, you did the Atkins diet. How was that for you?
Oh, I tried it for like a week and I couldn't do it. I was getting headaches, I was lethargic, and being a hairdresser, I need energy.
Atkins diet, for anyone that doesn't know, is where you cut out all carbs, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you just full on protein.
Yeah,
and
all
you get storming headaches.
Yeah, I did, yeah. And I did as well with something chef. Oh, what's it called? They send you food packages. Diet Chef, that's it, Diet Chef. I tried that. Oh, it was vile.
I've not heard of Diet Chef. Is that literally just pre-made food that gets sent to you and that's your meal?
Pre-made food, yeah. A bit like Cambridge, so it's pre-made food packaging. You get spaghetti bolognese, soups. But yeah, the food wasn't very nice and you couldn't eat anything apart from those packaging things. I didn't like it.
So whilst you were trying all these diets that failed, were you doing any exercise as well?
No.
Right, okay.
I wanted the quick fix. That was my mind frame was I don't want to do anything really, but I want to lose the weight.
So with all this yo-yo dieting, did you find that you put more weight on after you tried the fad diets, for example, like the Atkins diet or Slimming World?
Yeah, so when I did Slimming World, I did lose a stone whilst I was there, but then I gained 3 back.
No!
Yeah, I was so miserable after doing it.
I'm not surprised. Because you pay for Slimming World as well, don't you?
Yeah, you pay a joining fee and then you pay £5 a week and you get like penalties as well. Like I think it might have changed now, but you get 2 weeks a year where you don't have to go, like your holiday. And then if you miss a week after that, you still have to pay and you get like fined. It's very weird.
So after trying all those things and not getting anywhere, what was it in the end that worked for you?
It's one of those, I can't even remember when it happened, what day it happened. I was just sat around and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to Google how to lose weight fast. I'm going to Google how can I lose weight safely and healthily. It was the mindset just switched. I was like, I need to be healthy. I need to be doing this the right way to maintain it. And so I started Googling. I didn't even know about calorie deficit. I didn't even know the term. And then I was like, right, here you go. I need to be eating less than I'm burning. And then I was like, right, so what can I eat? What can I have? And then I was like, oh my God, volume foods. I can be eating all these foods that can fill me up and they're low calorie. It was just, yeah, it was a massive culture shock and change in my life.
It's mind-blowing because it's so simple, isn't it? I mean, eat less than you're burning. Simple as that.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't teach you this in school. I don't know about you, but I never got taught about calorie deficit when I was at school.
I wish things like that were taught in schools. And I know it can be a bit of a, taboo subject about weight in children. But I wish, from my point of view, growing up, it was taught about when nutrients were taught about in school. I really didn't have any knowledge on it apart from eat 5 a day. That's all I knew.
That's the thing that everyone gets drummed into them, doesn't it? Have 5 fruit and veg a day, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about calorie deficit a little bit later on. We'll go into a bit more detail. Right now, though, tell me, what was it you would eat in a day before you lost all your weight?
Right, okay. I wouldn't have breakfast. I wouldn't really drink water. I'd get to work, have maybe 2-3 cups a day tea. And then I would maybe snack at work. I might have like a meal deal from Sainsbury's if I had time to grab one. Maybe a chocolate bar that was in the cupboard. And then sometimes I wouldn't even eat anything. And then I'd go home and that's when the binge started. So I'd walk into the kitchen, maybe grab a sausage roll. If I wasn't getting a takeaway, I'd be getting something full of carbs. So it would be a big pasta dish with, a big baguette on the side, covered in a really high calorie sauce. And then I'd have a chocolate bar whilst that was cooking, and then maybe a donut. Honestly, I was awful. Oh, and then about 3 cans of Coke, full fat.
Wow, you ate well, didn't you? But I suppose back then you didn't know what that food was doing to you, what calories were in it.
No, I didn't even know about calories. No, I was just eating it thinking, that's a sandwich, not too bad. Packet of crisps, not that bad. Can of Coke, it can't be that bad.
It's amazing how it all adds up, though, isn't it? And it's only till you really start looking into it that you realise things like that. So that's what you used to eat in a day. What do you eat now?
So now, sometimes I don't have breakfast. I'm one of those where I can't make myself eat in the morning very often. But if I do, so let's say on a good day, I'll wake up, maybe have some porridge or Cocoa Pops, usually a cereal based with skim milk. Always have a cup of tea. But I have skim milk now, and then go to work. I have like snack boxes that I pre-make, and they'll have like little snacks in that I've cooked over the weekend. So low calorie, low fat sausage rolls, little egg muffins, like a pack of cheese pasta, only 69 calories. And I'll take them to work and I'll have that for my lunch because I can eat it really quickly or like little bits throughout the day. And then I'll come home and I'll just have like loads of different dinners. I can have like a spag bowl that I've cooked from scratch from like with all different ingredients, really good ingredients, or steak and chips, again, cooked differently so I can have it and it's healthier. And then I usually have like some kind of dessert. So I make homemade blueberry muffins or chocolate and banana muffins, and then another cup of tea, and then I'm done. And lots and lots of water.
Water's very important.
Oh my God, yeah. And I get headaches if I don't drink it now. I need water.
I used to drink like a pint of water before a meal so that it would fill me up a bit.
Yeah. I did that when I was losing the weight.
So how did you learn all about this food then? And what was good and bad for you? Was it literally just you Googled it?
Yeah, researching, Googling. Like I was on there for hours, like just scrolling through. And it was things like when I was making different recipes, I was like, well, what can I use? Instead of using golden syrup, what can I use instead of that? And it was like teaching myself different things. And my blueberry muffins and my banana muffins that I make, instead of using, all the sugars and the butter, it was changing that for like yogurt and sweeteners or honey.
So you're not a chef or anything then? Because I have seen the pictures on your Instagram and they look amazing. Your food looks brilliant.
Oh, no. I've always loved cooking, but I just used, pre-made jars and, you think you're a chef when you're doing that anyway.
Yeah, jar del mio, there's my spag bowl.
Yeah, that's it. The things like that, they're really high in sugars. And I was like, well, what can I use instead of a del mio sauce? And it's like, well, I never even heard of passata. I didn't even know what that was. And it's like a tomato sauce and I was using that instead. And, it's just little things like that.
So when did you start this new way of eating then?
March 2019 was the kind of pinnacle moment for me that I changed.
And from that moment on, you gave up on all the fad diets and you just started basically eating healthily and researching what food you were eating.
Yeah.
Did you stick to it religiously?
Yes and no. So I stuck to that. I was eating really good foods, but it wasn't because I had to in the end. I enjoyed doing it.
That's interesting.
So it wasn't a sense of like, I need to do this, I need to lose weight, I need to keep eating like this. It became second nature, and that's just how my life was. I liked eating those foods. It didn't feel like I was changing. I don't know, it's really strange to explain. Like I just felt so good all the time from eating these good foods, and I was feeling really full, and I just felt amazing thinking, do you know what, I can have these really filling good meals and I'm losing weight at the same time.
So were you doing any exercise whilst...
No.
You still weren't doing exercise?
No,
Wow.
no, none. But I think being a hairdresser, I know I am on my feet all day, but I can honestly say I didn't work out once.
But I suppose, yeah, being the size you were, 16 stone, and the way you changed what you ate so drastically, that's going to have an effect as well. The weight is literally just going to drop off.
Yeah. So I think in the beginning, it dropped very quickly because it was such a change for my body and my system. And my body was like, what's going on? She's doing it the right way for once. It's actually going to work. When I did plateau, I plateaued at 11.5 stone. But I still felt great at that weight.
How did you get over that plateau then? Because it's a point a lot of people reach and they just hit a brick wall basically and they can't go any further, no matter what they try. What did you do?
So for me, I went back up to maintenance calories, so up to my calories, so I wasn't calorie deficit anymore. I was at the calories I needed to be to maintain my weight, just so my body could get used to having a bit more food. And then after a few weeks, I brought it back down to calorie deficit. I started eating more like lean proteins, lots more vegetables, really good green veggies, and it just dropped really quickly again.
And at this stage, you still weren't going to the gym or anything?
No.
That's just brilliant. I mean, just a tweak to your food and you're losing weight. Proof that you don't need to spend hours in the gym to lose weight. I have noticed from your Instagram at the start of the year, though, you have been in a gym.
But that's because I want to get fit. Like, I'm happy at the weight I am now. I don't want to lose any more weight. I really just want to get fit and toned.
Okay, and what kind of stuff are you going to be doing in the gym then to get fit and toned?
Oh, everything. Cardio. I've been doing weights. I think it was getting myself in the gym that was the biggest hurdle and the biggest barrier, and now I've done it. Literally, in that week of going, I was obsessed. I was loving life. I left feeling so good, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a game changer.
Once you get those endorphins pumping, you just fall in love with it. You said there that going to the gym or getting into the gym was the biggest barrier to going.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I think it's the judgment side of it. I think I'm being honest with myself. I walk in and I think everyone's looking at me, and they're not. And it's also like, wearing gym clothes, never worn it before. Am I using this machine correctly? Are people watching me? Am I going too slow? Like, people are going to look at me. I'm sweating. I'm red. I'm, out of breath.
I totally get it. I felt the same way when I was 23.5 stone. I dreaded going on that gym floor. I think the thing to remember, though, in that situation that is a lot of people feel the same way. And also, you'll know from when you're doing a workout yourself, you're so focused on your own workout that you don't notice what else is going on around you.
Exactly. So it's getting my mind over that hurdle. And I, truthfully and honestly speaking, I think it was easier for me now because I'm not overweight.
Would you ever have thought of going to the gym then when you were 16 stone?
So I did once and then I didn't go again. And then I joined like a body combat group once and I didn't go again. And it was also, nobody would go with me. And I just couldn't go on my own. I don't know why. I think a lot of people are like that.
So why did you only do them once then and give up? Did you feel self-conscious about doing them?
Yeah, felt self-conscious. And I think also it was making myself go again. Like, I would make so many excuses. I'd be like, actually I can't go today because I've got to work late, or I can't go tomorrow because I'm seeing my dad, and I would just constantly be making excuses.
But now you're happy with the way you look and the weight you're at.
Yeah.
You're okay with going to the gym or doing a workout.
Yeah, and it's stupid really, because I wish I felt like this when I was bigger, and I would have probably lost the weight a lot quicker, and I would have been, building muscle at the same time, but I just couldn't get my brain over that hurdle. I couldn't do it, which is a shame really. But now I'm so confident and I want it so badly that I know I'll do it. But I think that's also my mindset changing. It wasn't just losing weight, it was my whole life changing, my lifestyle, everything, my outlook on life.
That's really interesting. Okay, so it wasn't just about the food for you. Your whole life changed because of the weight loss, or? Because
of the weight loss, because of the foods that I was eating. Because I also taught myself about gut health. And now looking back, I now realise that a lot of the foods that I were eating were the reasons that I was depressed and I was low, because I wasn't eating good foods that made me feel good. It triggered like IBS, and then I was always bloated, and now I feel so good and I feel healthy. Tell
me about gut health then. This is something I haven't explored.
So gut health is just eating good foods that, trigger certain parts of your body to feel. It's been like endorphins, releasing good energy.
So like what? What foods are good for your gut and what foods are bad then?
I think it's dependent on the person, but for me, it was things that are high in oils, high in sugars. I can have it every now and again. I can enjoy it. I can still eat it, but when I eat it in excess and when I binge out on it and have too much, I get flare-ups. My skin breaks out. I feel miserable. I'm really moody. I don't want to get out of bed in the mornings. And then when I stopped and started eating things, so like it sounds silly, but like broccoli, loads of green, dark green veggies, good proteins, again, drinking lots of water, foods that naturally help you detox. I think that's what then makes you feel good.
It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because the food you're putting in your body is your fuel, and that will, of course, affect every part of your body, won't it?
Yeah, because I also think when I first started my calorie deficit journey, I think the first 3 weeks I had the headaches, and I had the, you feeling like rubbish, and I wasn't eating enough because I was eating the wrong foods, and I was eating the same food still, but just having less of it. And then that's when I was like, right, I'm doing this wrong. Like, let's Google calorie deficit properly. And that's when I then realized, by eating all these different foods, you can have so much more and really fuel your body with the best you can. And, it's completely changed everything.
So you said then you'd have the same foods, but smaller portions. So there was a stage in your journey that you were thinking, right, I'm going to have fish and chips tonight, but I'm just going to have a small portion of fish and chips, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that didn't work for you?
No. So it would if it was... if I was balanced throughout the rest of the time I was doing it, I was doing that every day. So now it's the case of, if I want fish and chips, great, but I'm going to have chips in the air fryer. I'm going to have cod that's not battered, and I'm going to have some nice peas, and low fat ketchup and mayo. It's rather than going to the chippy and having about 2,000 calories worth of chips and fish.
I love that you've just done all this on your own, just through your own research.
Yeah. And when people say to me, I get it a lot, like, how have you done it? Like, I get a lot of assumptions, gastric band, have you taken diet pills? I don't know why they think that. And I'm like, no, all I have done is calorie deficit and taught myself better food methods, better cooking methods and ingredients, and it works.
Would you say it was hard teaching yourself about calorie deficit?
Yeah, in the beginning it was. I was like, what's going on? That's maintenance calories, that's deficit calories. That's too little calories, but it only took a short period of time for it to click. I think once you know, and I did a video on it and explaining it in a kind of like a dummy-proof way, and people were like, "Oh, that's what it is," and I was like, "Yeah, that's all it is."
Because it is actually really simple, isn't it?
Very simple, but when you're looking online, I think they like to make it complicated. I don't know why, but once you find the right person to explain it to you, it's like, oh, that's it.
You know what I'm going to ask now, don't you? In 30 seconds, tell us about calorie deficit.
Right, and so in 30 seconds, so I'm going to use the average woman for an example. The average woman can lay in bed all day, all night, and her body will still burn 2,000 calories. So to be within calorie deficit, you need to be consuming, so eating, less calories than that. Making sure you're doing it the healthy and safe way, because undereating is going to cause, worse long-term effects.
That is brilliant. 30 seconds, done.
Yeah, is that quite good?
That was quite good. It made sense to me. Yeah, I get it. Eat less calories and you'll lose weight.
Yeah.
Do you find that you calorie count now, or do you just naturally know what calories are in something?
I naturally know, and I don't know if that's because some people don't like the fact that people calorie count, because it can be triggering for some people, and I understand that. But for me, I learned how to calorie count, and over the space of the year, by the end of that year, I knew how much pasta to have, a handful. I knew how much I was eating. I knew that a can of Coke was 139 calories. You retain all the information, and then you don't need to calorie count, because it's almost like you're used to the portion sizes. You know that you can have that little chocolate bar, and it becomes second nature, and that's what I loved about it. Now I don't have to sit on my phone typing it all in and preparing lots of things. I know it.
Did you ever use an app to calorie count, like MyFitnessPal, for example?
Yeah. But I didn't use their calorie requirement. So when you set up in MyFitnessPal, when you type in your information, it will give you different options on how much weight you want to lose. And so in the beginning, I selected 2 pounds, and that brought my calories right down to 1,200 calories. And I personally, and I think factually as well, that's what a toddler needs. Like, it's way too low. You need to be way above that. So what I did is I went online and I Googled the TDEE calculator, and, type in your information, your weight, your height, your sex, and it'll bring up, your maintenance calories, how many calories you should be consuming, if you're lightly active, if you're moderately active, and if you're highly active. And then I selected what I needed, and then I used that calorie goal, but I used MyFitnessPal to, insert all my food and track it.
So what was that TDEE calculator?
So you type in, I don't know what the word stands for. That's really bad, isn't it?
I was hoping you were going to enlighten me here because I've never heard of it.
No. I know a lot, but not everything.
Okay, wait there 2 seconds. I'm going to Google it really quickly because I'm TDEE calculator.
Yeah, and usually it's the
Oh, right. So it's
one as well I use.
Total daily energy expenditure.
Oh, there we go. See, I didn't know
That's
it.
what it means.
Back in my brain somewhere.
So you use the TDEE calculator to find out how many calories you needed, and then you put that into MyFitnessPal.
Yeah, so it can give you, well, and also you can just select £1 a week rather than £2 a week, and it will bring your calories up. But I wanted more of a better knowledge of my body. And I felt like the one that it gave me online was a bit more reasonable, so I went by that.
Because if someone had said to me before I lost all my weight, calorie counting is the way forward, I would have said, that sounds so boring.
Yeah.
Would you have said something similar, or?
Yeah, because I've been taught about, calorie count, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, but do I really want to sit there typing it into my phone and looking at all the packaging when I'm walking around the shop? That's going to take me hours. But yeah, I don't think it is boring. It's actually quite interesting learning and knowing about all different foods. And when I go into a restaurant and my friends order food, I'm like, oh, that's quite high in calorie. Oh, that's quite low in calorie. I mean, I don't voice that because I would never shame anyone. And I'm there with my big burger and chips anyway.
You must be the worst person to go out for a meal with if you're sat next to your friend saying, oh, that's got lots of calories, love. We don't want that.
Oh, no,
I'm like, look, go and sit over there on your own.
Oh, God, no. I'd be the worst one there. I'd be the one with the big burger and chips.
What was it that made you feel you've reached your goal now then and you're okay with it and you're maintaining?
I think just feeling happy and not constantly looking and thinking, oh, that needs to change. I don't feel like I just feel, just happy.
Did you have a goal in mind when you started this of how much weight?
No, I never did,
Really? You're just like, right,
no,
I'm going to go on this journey and see what happens.
Yeah, and I think that's what I did wrong before. I would always set myself goals of going, I'm going to lose 2 stone in 1 month, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. I just said to myself and my husband, I said, I just want to feel good and confident in my body and my skin and in my clothes.
See, 2 stone in 1 month, you now know that is a ridiculous goal to set.
Yeah, now I do.
But back then, you think it's totally achievable because you didn't know anything about weight loss or what your body was capable of.
Yeah, I would actually Google things like that, like how can I lose a stone in 2 weeks? And it would come up with ways to do it.
And of course, they would be the fad diets that you try for 2 weeks, lose some weight, think, yay, this is great, come off the diet, and then put on more weight than you lost. What is your one guilty pleasure? Do you still have treats, or have you stopped them completely?
Oh, God, yeah. So my treat, per se, is probably a Greg's pizza slice.
Is that your go-to?
Yeah, the pepperoni. Oh yeah, I had 3 the other day. That was my hangover.
3? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you then have less the next day because you went big one day, for example?
So I never did that. I was trying to get myself out of the mindset of punishing myself when I did overeat or when I binged out, because it would lead me to doing it again. So I was like, you know what, you've eaten a bit too much today, and that's okay. You can't be perfect. You've got to enjoy your life. And then the next day, I would just go back to normal and back to the drawing board, because one day is not going to affect my week.
The thing to do is not stress over it. If you do have 3 pieces of Greg's, I've never had Greg's pizza. I'm dying to try it now. If you do have 3 pieces in a one day, don't stress over it. It's not the end of the world.
No. And you know what? Those 3 slices were definitely better than a whole Domino's pizza. So I'm compromising there.
I like the positive spin you've put on that. I like it.
Yeah.
So give me one piece of advice for someone who wants to lose weight.
Are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you doing it, you're going to be healthy, you're going to be doing it safely, and you need to learn it. You need to learn properly about, the method you're going to choose to lose that weight.
I couldn't agree more. Doing it for the right reasons. When I was fat, I had people badgering me to lose weight. They did it from a point of love, obviously, but trying to lose weight for someone else never works. You've got to do it for yourself. Beth, it's been so good talking to you today. Thank you for sharing your weight loss journey with us. People can find you on Instagram, of course. You've got loads of stuff on there. What are you on Instagram?
I'm weightloss_Beth.
And your Instagram, as I say, is fabulous. All the foods you put on there look absolutely amazing. I highly recommend.
It's just blown up.
I highly recommend people go and check it out because you put a load of healthy, stuff that looks really tasty, but it's healthy. Like, what was the one I was looking at earlier on? Yeah. The triple chocolate tray baked brownies.
Yeah, 131 calories each.
Hey, look, you're going to do a food. You're going to do a recipe book or something.
Do you know, that's my next goal. You've got to set yourself goals in life, and I'm going to manifest. I'm going to have recipe book.
Oh, I love it. Well, look, keep us posted.
Yeah, definitely.
And Beth, once again, congratulations on your weight loss. It's an absolutely brilliant achievement. And thank you for being part of the Secrets of Weight Loss.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening as well. I really hope you enjoyed that. Wasn't Beth brilliant? I'm Roberto. Make sure you hit subscribe and join us next week, where I'll be talking to another weight loss champion who, again, changed what they ate in order to lose weight, like Beth did, but in a very different way. Thanks for listening. Find out more at thesecretsofweightloss.com.